One. Welcome back, everybody, to our third ITRAD Fantasy Podcast with your host, Justin Bird.
And Matthew Castro.
All right, so today we're going to get started after going over some things that happened last week. Right now, everybody's a little tied up in the standings. I think we have how many teams that are 3 and 4?
Like four.
We have 4 3 and 4 teams, 2 4 and 3 teams. Right now, it's still anyone's league to win. I think we saw who went off last week. Who was it?
Last week, I don't think anyone really went off like Kenny did later before in the week.
Sonny actually surprisingly scored 166 points. He usually is on the low tier end of scoring. But let's get started into our first segment. We got the waiver pickup of the week. My waiver pickup of the week is Rashard Higgins this week. Julian picked up Rashard Higgins. Julian's always picking up the Browns players. But it seems to me like Baker Mayfield just loves Rashard Higgins. He had a touchdown, I think, 2-3 weeks ago. His productivity has been going up ever since he came in. And I just think he might be able to pull off a really good flex spot. Maybe wide receiver 2 by the end of the season.
For me, I also picked up waiver wire of the week, and I also picked Julian, but it was later on in the week, Saturday, as everyone knows. Nick Chubb is now the running back one because of Carlos Hyde leaving,
Right.
And that was before our show last week. So this week, it's Nick Chubb because he's like the first number one running back in Cleveland, and he might be a running back 2 for the rest of the year. Who knows? You never know with Cleveland. So.
As anyone knew, I did have him on my team for the past 4 weeks, and 2 days after I dropped him, they traded for Carlos Hyde. They traded Carlos Hyde. But let's get into these power rankings. All right, so at my 10th spot, I have Suck My Dicka. Eddie is the former champion from last year. His team seems to be struggling. He only has 2 players on his whole squad that he drafted. So maybe trading could be the cause of this. We see a lot of active trading teams, at the bottom tier of the record. Team X, I don't know how many they made a trade last week.
Low-key trades, that's what they do.
Yeah.
That's what he does.
Those teams, Silicon Valley, 2 and 5, Suck My Dick at 2 and 5. Those are probably the top 2 trading teams in the league, if I had to guess.
Yeah, and it just so happens that they're like at the bottom of the list too.
Who'd you have at your number 10?
Number 10, I still have Julian. Like I don't know what this act that his team is putting on, but it's like a good act, I guess, because he's been winning games somehow. But I still am not buying it. Julian is still my number 10. He's going to stay number 10 until he somehow gets some miraculous god coming out of his team, dropping like 40 points. But that's pretty much it.
At my number 9, I have Silicon Valley. This is a team that has the best running back deal in the league. Just hasn't really had the luck. 2 and 5. Started off the season 0-3, or was it 0-4? Simon's team could be picking it up a little bit. I mean, I know he just traded for what did he trade for?
Juju Smith-Schuster.
Yeah, he has Smith-Schuster now. Actually, no, he doesn't. Oh yeah, he does. He does have Schuster. What was the trade with that? I think it was Oh no, Antonio Brown came from Diego and went to Eddie. Right?
Yeah, Juju Smith-Schuster was Juju Smith-Schuster, Jameis Winston, Corey Clement for LaShawn McCoy, Golden Tate, and Boyd.
So I kind of like that trade, I guess. Smith-Schuster is easily a wide receiver 2 every week.
Yeah.
He gets the targets in the high passing offense. I like that he traded away LaShawn McCoy. I don't see LaShawn McCoy doing much if he's not traded to a different team by the deadline. But who'd you have at your number 8?
Number 9, you mean?
Yeah, number 9. Number
Number nine, I
nine.
have
Number
number
nine.
nine. Number nine, I have Kevin, and this is because I don't know what's wrong with his team. It's just underperforming, and his injuries are just killing him like constantly. Like as you'll see later in the show when we go over the drafting, his draft kind of killed him, and it's not really his fault. Like if it played out the way it would have, then he would have a good team. But still, and just like once you like look over his team after the running backs and wide receivers, like the rest of his team is just like not good in my opinion. Just like his flex and tight end, like very important spots on the team that just are not performing. And like he has
Yeah,
Chris
I mean he's got
Carson.
Chris Carson at flex.
Yeah, like those 2 weeks were good because they were just running the ball. But how long is that gonna last? You know?
Yeah. Coming in at my number 8, the highest he's ever been on the power rankings. Number 8, can't hide my Chubb. Has been having a good past 2 weeks. You know, he's got Chubb now. He's still got Fournette, who hasn't came back yet. But if Fournette comes back to form, he's got Mahomes. He got Chubb. He's got Fournette. He still got Hyde too. He has Hyde. He has Alshon Jeffrey. He has Eric Ebron. I do not like Josh Gordon though at his wide receiver too. That's
Yeah.
where I think he suffers a little bit. But he does have Amari Cooper, who we don't know. We don't know what he's gonna do. He might be a wide receiver 1 in a couple of weeks. We don't know. But we'll see how his team does. Who do you have at your number 8?
Number 8, I have Ed, and it's just because his record is just so low as a 2-5, and I just don't get it. Like how his team was really good, then it was bad. Wait, am I frozen?
No,
No.
you're good.
His team was really good. Now it was bad, and now it's good again. I don't really understand. Like his trade, like the people who trade with him, just like I guess don't see what's going on in their minds. I guess, but now he has Travis Kelce and Zach Ertz, along with Michael Thomas, Tyler Boyd, and Christian McCaffrey. So I mean, that's a pretty much good core that can win you games week in and week out. But you never know. Still think his team is good. It's just his record's bad. This was his team in the beginning of the season, it was good, but his team in the beginning of the season was amazing. He would have won the league if he still had that team, but he traded
Yeah.
away because he got nervous.
At number 7, I have Philly Special. This is another former champion in this league. Like you said, injuries. He drafted Dalvin Cook early. You know, that didn't help. Just a team that's been underperforming. Who do you have at your 7?
Number 7, I have Simon Gal, which is Silicon Valley, and this is
What is Silicon
I
Valley?
don't know. I think it's some
Probably
like
some fucking nerd shit. If I
some
had.
show or something. I don't know. I think I heard of it somewhere,
Yeah, I feel like I did too.
but I don't know. But I just think his team is good. I mean, he has like the two best. I mean, not the two best running backs, but the best running back core, and also he has Stephon Diggs and Tyreek Hill, and now he has Juju Smith-Schuster. I mean, his team's pretty good. So I still think his team has a lot of potential. It's just again the record. He's just getting unlucky and losing games, and that's not what you need because obviously you can't win games, can't get to the playoffs, can't win the championship, can't win money. So.
In case you're wondering, Silicon Valley is some nerd shit. It's the region in California where Apple, Facebook, and Google are all home to. So,
Oh, isn't that Palo Alto?
yes, correct.
Yes. I don't know why he did that. He thinks he's some like innovator, creative guy or
Startup
something.
foundation thing.
Like no, like his team was trash. Now
Uh,
it's kind of
Next we have number 6. At number 6, I do have your own Brooklyn Treyway. This is a team.
playoff spot.
It is a playoff spot, correct? There's nothing wrong with that. You got Brady, David Johnson, a little. We'll see what Jalen Richard does. He's got a high ceiling for this week with Marshawn out. The Raiders are playing Indy. What do you think about that defense?
It's a good defense, but that's not what matters in the PPR format because Jalen Richard. No, yeah, right. Yeah, he I don't know, because I've been last year I had Marshawn Lynch and I was watching a lot of Raiders football because like he would make or break my team pretty much. And for some reason Marshawn Lynch wouldn't be playing the fourth quarters and it would just be Rocket Richard in the fourth quarter the entire time. And when they had no one to throw to, they would just throw to Richard. And now he's a starting running back. So I mean this team is pretty bad. The Oakland Raiders is probably the worst team in football now. And so I don't know. That might him a little bit, but I see a lot of dunks to Richard, but I don't know.
Yeah. Who do you have at your number 6?
Number 6, I have Diego, Sheck West fan club, and honestly, his team isn't as bad as we thought it would be, I guess, because he did win last week, and now Kenyon Drake does have a touchdown, right? You saw
Speaking of
that?
Kenyon Drake, he does. He just scored another touchdown. Oh
Another?
wait, you mean? Oh, you meant? Oh, I thought you meant last week. Yeah. He just scored.
No, he just scored a touchdown,
Yeah.
and yeah. So now he has. I mean, he's been starting. Maybe he turns up now. Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows?
You never know. I was hoping for him to turn up because I actually liked Drake. I like him as a player,
I do
but
too. I love Kenyon Drake.
I don't know what's been happening in the Dolphins. I haven't been watching a lot of Dolphins.
Our offense our offensive play calling is just not there.
No offense, but the Dolphin games are kind of boring, so I kind of stay away
Yeah,
from them.
exactly. Because our offense is just screens every fucking 2 plays.
To Frank Gore.
We don't use Frank Gore well enough. Anyway, who do you have at your? Oh no, all right. So at my number 5, I have myself. Um, I feel like my team is always in every game as long as I have Gurley. Um, he could put up 30 points, a week. He could cover both of my running back spots sometimes with his points alone. So I think I haven't been doing as well as I wanted to this season, but playing Eddie this week. AJ Green has a good matchup. Um, Carson Wentz is playing the Jags D, but we'll see how he does against them. Who do you have at your number 5?
Number 5, I also have you. And we actually made a good trade that kind of went
We did.
under everyone's noses for some reason. Like no
Very,
one
very
like
fair trade. I mean, it was both a position that each of us needed, and
yeah, like John Brown. Like I remember picking him up because I remember vividly the first week. Because yeah, my wide receivers were not the same as I had now, but I was playing Crabtree and I would just get upset because Jim Bryan would just be taking every single like reception for some reason, and that's what he's been doing lately. I mean, he's top 20 wide receiver, so he's pretty good. And your team is pretty good. I like I said, I have you, and this week is looks like a pretty good week. I mean, Green Bay not really a good defense. You have two players playing them, but you don't know with Chris Thompson, he might really bite you.
yeah, I mean, he's got to get those catches. And really, the Giants have a shit defense. They just traded away Eli Apple and Damon Harrison, so I'm not looking
Is this
for
his
him to
first
run.
week back?
I'm not looking for him to run all over that defense. I just need him to get some catches here and there.
He probably can. I mean, Snacks is gone, but I don't know if he even made an impact this season.
I mean, the only bad game he's played in is the Green Bay game, and that was because actually no, Green Bay won that game, right? I mean, lost that game. Green Bay lost that game.
Yeah.
But he had 24 points the first week, 22 points the second week, 2 points the third week. Had a bye.
No touchdowns too. That's crazy.
12 points the fifth week, and then he has missed week 6 and 7. So the games he's been playing pretty good.
Yeah, he's been pretty reliable. It's crazy. He doesn't have a touchdown either, so it's like
Yeah,
if he had a touchdown, he'd be playing 30-point games a week.
facts. I think we're on my number 4 spot. My number 4 spot, I have Shaq West fan club. This is a team that Cousins, Drake, it's really a hit or miss sometimes. I don't know why he's still starting Larry Fitz at his wide receiver 2 spot. He's a
It's
little
just that second year.
weak. He's a little weak at wide receiver. He's got Antonio Brown, but then he's got Larry Fitz, Keelan Cole, and Cooper Kupp. So he's kind of weak there. Might come back to bite him that he traded away Michael Thomas and Juju Smith. That's crazy.
Two people
But
who are carrying his team.
yeah, facts. Who do you have at your number 4?
Number 4, I have myself.
Okay,
I
I'm
just
waiting for yourself.
I know because I don't know. I just think that the losses don't represent my record doesn't represent my team's value. It's just like we've been losing games and it's just not it's just like partially our fault, partially the other team's performance. Like that's just like is like amazing for some reason. Like Nick's team last week, 19 points from the Texans and 16 points from his kicker. So I mean, nothing I can really do about that, and just Gronk being injured last week, it's just out of my control. So
Number 3, I have Fear Petus Tigers. I know he's 6-1. I know he's in first place, but don't believe the hype. Uh, James Way had 30 points last week. Pretty sure his defense had 25 points. I could be wrong though. I just know there was another player that went off in that thing. Whatever you want to fucking call it. I was mad about that game. I could have won if I started Tyrell Williams and James White didn't have 30 points. But Sonny, your team will fall off and you're not going to win the championship. You
31 points from the Rams.
are not,
31.
are
Yeah.
not going to win the championship. This is all smoke and mirror. Your team is not good. You get lucky, and I hope you're watching this because you're not good. Just so you know. Anyway, Castro, your
Just
number 3.
gas to his head. My number 3 is Kenneth Elliott, and I don't know. All I can say about this team is that his team just keeps on winning, and that's what you need. And just like last week, he just blew the doors off Eddie's team. Like Eddie's team underperformed so badly, 85 points, not even reaching 90. That's
Yeah.
crazy. And Team Impala had 155. Naheem Hines had only 5 points, but that didn't matter because he has the god Adam Thielen on his team, still averaging 100 a game, right?
Yep.
100 yards a game,
Yards a game.
and a touchdown, 28 points from him. He still has Julio. He's on a bye this week though. Matt Ryan, top 3 fantasy quarterback. So
Yeah.
that combination's deadly. Also, he has Indy's defense who has a good stretch of games to play against some not good offenses. So
Number 2, I have Kenny. Um, Basically everything you said about him was I was thinking. So we'll move on to your number 2.
my number 2 is Sonny, purely off his record. He's lucky. That's all I have to say. You already explained how his team is just gonna fall down, and I just can't wait for it. Especially off the trade he just made, which
Yeah.
I don't know what he was
Ertz has been
thinking.
carrying his team too.
Literally just like I don't know what was happening. He's either peer pressured or Eddie just had a way with words because for some reason people just think
Eddie
Eddie.
has a way with
Sonny thinks Eddie's words are just like the words spoken from the like fountain of
the
youth.
lips of God or something.
Yes, God has been like telling Eddie what's been like going on. Clearly, that's not the case because he's 2-5. So
Number 1, both of us have him here. Team X. Team's just been doing great. I mean, he got a lot of hate drafting Barkley 1, but it's paid off. Really nothing much to say. This guy's been doing great in first year in the league.
yeah, I think Nick's team is probably going to finish off with the best record at the end of the season. He only has Julian, Kenny, Kevin, Sonny, and Ed. So I don't think that's that hard to beat.
Yeah.
So he probably going to be number 1 seed, unless Connor gets second seeded from Bell, because in that case, Mark Ingram will be his running back too, and you never know. He's going to split with Camaro, so he's probably going to get max, like 20 a game?
Yeah. Moving on, we have a brand new segment this week. Draft analysis. So we're gonna be going over the best and worst picks from the draft and our sleeper of the year. So I'm gonna start off with Eddie's team. We'll do the same teams. We'll just go back and forth with them. So the best pick by Eddie this year for him was Manny Sanders in the 6th round. This is a player I'm pretty sure he's in the top 3 of wide receivers. I don't know. I forgot. lost my words. He's not on Eddie's team anymore, though. He traded him away
To me.
to who? To you, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was definitely his best valued pick. Manny Sanders is number 3 ranked receiver right now. So he got him in the 6th round. That's a snipe. And his worst pick, Stephon Diggs in the 3rd round. Diggs has just been getting overshadowed by Adam Thielen. It's unfortunate. He took him in the 3rd round over a lot of receivers. So, your picks.
For Ed, I actually ranked for this entire ranking. Actually, I ranked them off they still have them on their team. So like, if they're not on their team, I didn't rank them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So Diggs and whoever you said for his MVP, what was it Sanders? I
Yeah.
didn't have them because he's not on his team anymore. But his draft MVP right now has to be Christian McCaffrey for me, because he's
2nd round
just
pick.
yeah, I mean, he's been performing up to his expectation, but and then some. So that's pretty good. He's the 10th best running back right now, but he hasn't had a bad game yet. Like, he's just
Yeah.
been getting the passes, and if he doesn't get the passes, he's scoring touchdowns. Like, he's been running between the tackles too, so it's kind of weird, but he's been doing it, so you never know. And his dud, I really had like no clue, because I still had who was on his team,
Yeah.
because he traded away his entire team. He only has like 2 draft picks on his team, so his dud is just non-existent because it's not on the team anymore. So it's probably on the waiver wire.
Moving on at Silicon Valley, I have Simon's best valued pick being Melvin Gordon in the 2nd round.
Me
Melvin
too.
Gordon was picked over. I mean, excuse me. Melvin Gordon was picked after David Johnson, Alvin Kamara, Zeke Elliott, Todd Gurley. He was probably the 6th or 7th running back picked, and he's a top 3 running back now.
hmm
His worst pick I had is Doug Baldwin in the 4th round. All I'm gonna say that is you just hate to see it.
Yeah, he's just injured, and you never. I don't know. Apparently, in his own words, Simon's own words, the Russell Wilson to Doug Baldwin connection is quote unquote elite. He said. So don't know how that's working out. Is he even on the team still, Baldwin?
On Simon's team,
Yeah.
I have no clue.
Anyway, whatever. We moving on. Oh?
Yeah, who did you have as his worst
No, I
value?
had the same thing.
Oh, you had both the same. All right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't hear you there. Awkward. Um, Next I have up Can't Hide My Chubb, and his best value pick for me was Tyreek Hill in the 4th round. A lot of receivers were taking over Tyreek Hill, and he's proved to be one of the best. I think he's ranked. Where is he ranked right now?
Probably top 10 based off his points.
Yeah, he's ranked 2 right now, and he was taken in the 4th round. A lot of receivers taking over him. So, my worst pick for him was Leonard Fournette in the 2nd round. Another
Same.
injury story.
Yeah, he's just been injured. And I mean, I don't know. He might be injury prone. I don't know if it's too fast to dub him as that, but I don't know. His injuries has been coming up, and TJ Yeldon has been turning up, but now they have Hyde. But it's kind of weird for the Jaguars, because the Jags are like, oh, he can come back in like 2 weeks, which is weird, because why would you trade for Hyde if
Yeah,
he's coming back in
that
two
that was
weeks?
weird.
So I don't know what they're
Hey,
trying to do.
some
If they're trying
kids
to have
are
a
too.
three-headed monster or something, don't know what they're doing. But I had the same picks for Julian.
Next up we have Philly special. I have his best valued pick being Joe Mixon in the 3rd round. Another running back that a lot of running backs were taking over him. Jordan Howard was taking over him. My mistake. But his worst valued pick, Dalvin Cook, 2nd round. Another story of injuries. Just unlucky there. 2nd round pick. That's hard.
Yeah, for me, I had the same dud, but for MVP, I actually did Hopkins, because Hopkins is never gonna have a bad game.
Yeah,
So
true.
I mean, he's like what? He's wide receiver 4, but I mean, he's probably gonna finish just probably wide receiver top 3 at the end of the season, because it's just like it's only the half of the season,
Yeah.
and so yeah, he's just not gonna have a bad. I mean, Mixon is good, but he has been injured, and his injury has costed Kevin some games. So I mean, Hopkins is always going to be reliable.
Um, Next up we have Freeway. My best valued pick was Brady in the 5th round. Brady's been consistent all these games. Hasn't had a bad game. My worst value pick, Le'Veon Bell in the 1st round. Now you did get a good package out of him. So,
Amazing package.
who'd you have?
For me, honestly, my MVP was Robert Woods because Robert Woods has been performing at like an amazing, just like I actually like top 10 receiver, number 9, Robert Woods. And a lot of people would have thought, oh, Brandon Cooks, he's good, probably better than Robert Woods. He is better than Robert Woods, but it's just like the connection between Goff and Woods has been better than before because obviously he used to just feed Cup the ball, but now he's injured, so Woods is there now. And yeah, that's my MVP. For my dud, I also had Bell. I mean, hasn't fucking played a game yet, so
Yeah.
what else can you say? But I did get my top 5 receiver and Sanders, and so that's good.
Next up we have numero uno. Now my best value pick has to be Gurley at 2.
Me too,
1st
right?
round, 2nd pick. Lowest game he's had is 25 points this year. Not much else to say. He's got 14 total touchdowns. My worst valued pick, I had Jordan Howard, drafted in the 3rd round. Now, I did trade away Aaron Rodgers for him, which worked out good, but I didn't keep Aaron Rodgers. So, still a wasted pick in my book. Who'd you have?
For your
Buckeyes
MVP,
throws a pick at the 20-yard. Oh, might go for 6. Never mind.
for me, your MVP obviously Gurley, best running back
Yeah.
for fantasy. For your dud though, I actually have Brandon Cooks. And this is because I don't know if it was just me, but I had way higher expectations for him. Because you did draft him at 42, which I don't know what round that is. What is that, 4 or 3? 4th round probably. And I had drafted Woods at 78. So I just had a higher expectation for Brandon Cooks because he's a really good receiver. And he's fast. He's just a good fantasy receiver, but he hasn't been producing this year as much as he should. So
Yeah.
maybe it's just the chemistry between the old Rams versus whoever just got on the Rams this year. But you'll never know.
Next up, we have Check West Fan Club. My best value pick for him was Juju Smith-Schuster in the 5th round. My worst value pick from another injury story, Jerick McKinnon in the 4th round. He also did have Larry Fitzgerald in the 3rd round. I didn't know which one to choose there. Larry Fitz, I think, has put up 5 single-digit point games. He took him in the 3rd round, which is really hard to just... So many receivers could have taken over him.
Yeah. For me, I have Sheck West. His best, I think it was actually Cooper Cup, and
Yeah,
this is
I did see
because,
Cup got drafted really late.
he actually pretty much won Diego games. Like he would have before he got injured. I'm pretty sure he was number 2 behind Thielen before he got injured. That's pretty good because he would just be getting every single pass from Goff, and then if he scored a touchdown, his points would just explode. So that's why I have his MVP. I mean, right now it's obviously not his MVP because he's injured and he's
Yeah.
not the same. But his dud, also I have Drake because I'm pretty sure Drake was drafted pretty early. But his before his draft was McKinnon and Drake. I'm pretty sure as a starting two. Let's see. Yeah, it was 51, but he drafted wide receivers and stuff before him. So I think his dud is Kenyon Drake. Maybe he's turning up now, but you never know.
Next up, I have Fear Peters Tigers. His best valued pick I had was in the 3rd round. He took Zach Ertz. No, dude's been he's on pace to break record this season for tight ends. So that speaks for itself. My worst valued pick in the 4th round of the draft, Sonny took Royce Freeman. Big mistake there.
Yeah,
I know that's one he regrets.
I definitely know why he probably picked Royce Freeman. It was probably because he was probably watching a Matt Berry ESPN video high on Royce Freeman. I know I was kind of high on Royce Freeman, but I told myself, you know what, I don't know if he's gonna be as good as he was in college because at Oregon he was a god, but for Royce Freeman, I probably saw him as like a 6 round pick, but I had my running backs established, but that didn't work out for me. But for me, Sonny's MVP is James White. He really like I don't know. James White has been a top 10 running back. He's just been fed the ball from Tom Brady. You know, they're passing the ball if everyone's covering, just going to James White. So that's his MVP. I mean, he's kind of been carrying games. OBJ hasn't been really a star, but he hasn't been like underproducing. I don't know. He's just been
Yeah.
okay, I guess.
He's
But
not.
for
He hasn't been worth the 7th round selection.
yeah, but
Seventh, seventh pick. My bad.
for me, his dud has to be Lamar Miller. Lamar Miller has been doing shit this season, just terrible, not good at all. So his pairing would have been Lamar Miller and Royce Freeman, which is pretty bad. But he lucked out with James White, so that was that.
Next up we have Tame Impala. His best pick for me was Adam Thielen in the 4th round, 100 yards a game. Dude got taken over under a lot of receivers. And then my worst pick for him was LaShawn McCoy in the 3rd round. Who do you have?
Yeah, number one is MVP. I have Adam Thielen. He's just been a god this season. Don't know if he's going to be slowing down. Maybe teams will catch on, but you never know. And his worst pick was probably who'd you say again? LaShawn McCoy, right? Yeah, it was
Yeah.
definitely LaShawn McCoy because he's just been injured and not Bills aren't good, so he's not going to be doing good.
Wait, Castro, check the shirt.
Yeah, I know, I saw that. He probably should be traded, but he's probably not going to get traded because he's like the only good player on the team. So
Next up we have Team X, who had a great draft. His best value pick for me was Devontae Adams in the 2nd round, only because nobody knew Devontae Adams was gonna put up numbers like this. His worst value pick, ooh, I hate even saying this. In the 3rd round of the draft, he took Derrick Henry. Yikes! That's a guy that's been putting up no type of points lately.
no. He's been splitting with Deion Lewis, and they both haven't been doing shit. The Titans don't even score over 10 points a game, so you can't expect them to get good production out of them. But for team MVP, I have Saquon because no one expected him to be a running back 2. I don't think anyone expected him to be being a good running back, but it is PPR, and the Giants suck, so they're just throwing the ball constantly and not running it as much. So they've just been pitching the ball off to Barkley, and it's been working. So for
Yeah.
PPR at least. So and then for Team X, his dud, Allen Robinson. Pretty sure it was gonna be a starter on his team. He hasn't been doing pretty much anything at all. I don't think he's even a top. He's number 51. He's ranked 51 on out of wide receivers, and he was drafted 41st, which is what his fourth round pick. So yeah, definitely could have had a better draft. This team would be amazing if he actually picked good players.
Yeah.
But whatever, it's worked out for him in the end.
Right now we're about to add our guest of the week into the call. Do you have his app? Can you add him to the call? Do you have him added?
Oh yeah, I think I just
You gotta hit the plus. You gotta hit the, like.
yeah.
What kind of computer are you on?
HP. Is it calling? I'm calling him, but you know this kid is an old man. Oh, is he joining? Is he in? Is he in?
Hey,
Hey, oh, it's
Kamish, how's it going, Kamish?
Whoa, what's going on, guys? Thanks for
Oh,
having
I
me on the
see.
show.
He dressed up. He dressed
that
up.
I did. I dressed up.
Oh,
for the show.
he's fucking gay. He
was
dressed
honored.
up for
It was
the.
honored to be
collared
had.
shirt and a tie.
Oh my god. Me.
That's
All right.
trying to dress
Anyway,
for the.
uh,
Eddie, you should have worn a Nike shirt and a tie. That'd have been way funnier.
So, what's up, Commish? How you feeling today?
Feeling all right. Feeling all right. Going into some Thursday night football, you know.
Wait, is he lagging on your screen, Justin, or is it just me?
Just a little bit, but he's fine.
I'd say 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
All right, now it's better. It's
All right.
better.
All right, so Commish, I got some questions for you.
All right, shoot. Let's hear 'em.
All right, so first of all, how has the experience been being the commissioner this year? I know I was the commissioner for past years. It's a tough job. I'll give you that. It's a tough job. You can't please everyone with it.
Exactly.
Like been handling it this year.
I think it's been pretty smooth so far. You know, pretty smooth sailing. I think we've made some fun out of it, made some changes, and everything's going pretty good so far, I believe.
Now Ed, talk to me about your actual team. Now, you only have 2 players that you drafted still on your team. Fucking gay. Cash. You only have 2 players on your team that you still drafted. That's McCaffrey and who was it?
Harrison Buckner, my kicker.
So you have a completely different lineup outside of Christian McCaffrey and your kicker. You're 2 and 5. Simon is also 2 and 5, another one who's been trading out the wazoo this year. Does the record have any reflect on the trading?
Yeah, you catch some good breaks, you catch some bad breaks. I think we made some pretty good moves, and I don't regret any of them. We just gotta get the win.
You don't regret any of them?
No, none of them. I think all the trades I made.
Not even Amari Cooper and Saints defense for Jags D and Matt Breida?
Nah, I turned Amari Cooper into Carson Wentz. That wasn't too bad.
Not even Jordan Howard for Aaron Rodgers?
I still believe in Jordan Howard. Second half Howard. You'll see.
Ed, let's just go over your week 1 team.
All right, let's do it.
You could have had okay, first of all, you're biased. You could have Aaron Rodgers starting, Ezekiel Elliott, Christian McCaffrey, Stephon Diggs, Jarvis Landry, Trey Burton, Emmanuel Sanders, which is the wide receiver 3, Saints defense, and Harrison Buckner. Do you understand how good that team would have been right now? You understand that would have been probably an undefeated team. Undefeated.
Yeah, you got to look at the bigger picture. I don't think Emmanuel Sanders is going to be a league winner. Zeke isn't what I thought he would be. He's, right on the outside. I think he's 8th right now, right?
I just can't believe he had McCaffrey and Elliott from the draft. That's crazy.
Even Christian McCaffrey, he's only been putting up like 13, 14. I'm still waiting for him to get going. The team I got now, I think we're 10 times better than what we had week 1.
Oh, give me a fucking
Alright, get it. Alright, this
do
guy.
the side by side.
Hey.
Alright, we will do the side by side. We will do the side by side. Castro, you pull up the week 1.
All right, but let's just say, but this doesn't give it justice because it did score 112 against me, who I just beat you. But you would have beat me if you would have started Rodgers and your bias.
Now your
I also
quarterback.
started Trey Burton. He got like 1 point that week.
And also tell me, why do you still have Cam Newton on your bench? Like, are you waiting to trade the guy?
No. I just don't like him against Baltimore. I got Jameis Winston back from Simon.
You have 3 quarterbacks on your roster right now.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to trade any of them. They're just all going to...
I mean, if I get a good offer, I really like Winston a lot, and I like Cam a lot. And Big Ben was just sitting out there, and I had an empty spot. So, better on my bench than somebody else's team.
Now, your RB2 this week is Marlon Mack. Why don't you start Jordan Howard over him?
I mean, Max has been putting together some solid performances. I got to watch the ankle on him, though. He was out of practice today. Well, if it comes down game time Sunday, I'll slide Howard right in there. He's good for a score.
Now, you're also running a 2 tight end lineup. I've never seen it before.
Yeah, neither have I, but you get the number 1 and number 2 tight end. It's hard to pass up on that.
It is. I actually kind of like that.
And you kind of have like a, strangle on the tight end position. It's such a thin position, and I'm hoping I get an offer one of these days that I can't refuse for one of them. We'll see, though.
That's what I was running with Njoku and Ebron.
What?
Oh, this kid.
What do you need?
Oh, fucking boy.
What? Okay. I don't know what's going on down there. Should I hang up? I'll be right back.
Oh, all right. Ed. You're done then, Ed. You're.
All right. It'll literally be a minute. I don't know what's going on down there.
All right, Castro. Let's do our pick'ems then.
All
All
right.
right.
You're gonna call me back, or I'll text when I'm ready to come back.
Just stay there. Just leave.
Yeah,
All right.
why you?
All right. That's cool. I'll be right back.
That's why we can't have Hicks on the fucking show.
Sorry for that, guys. Like,
Yeah,
just
sorry.
terrible. He usually does this. He's just a terrible.
Anyway,
Anyway,
moving
just
on
go
to
to
the
pick him.
picks of the week. We have Suck My Dick versus Numero Uno. I have myself winning that one. I have Todd Gurley versus Green Bay. I have AJ Green versus Tampa Bay. I think those are gonna be my high ceiling players. I also have John Brown against the Panthers. I'm hoping he can get something going deep there. Who do you have winning that game?
I actually have Ed, and this is because he killed Sonny in the trade. He has the two best tight ends that are scoring like their top 15 wide receivers in the league. So I don't know. He just his running back. I don't know. Just all matters on Christian McCaffrey. If it's going to be hard to produce against his Baltimore defense, but still, I don't know. It's going to be a close game. We didn't do the games the weekend review, did we?
We did.
No, we didn't. We started off with the waiver wire
Oh yeah, we did.
because I guess this is a good time now. Right now I have this game as the game of the week. I
Oh,
think
you're right. We didn't do that.
this game I think is going to be the game of the week. Projections right now has it as 135, 133 or something like that. So this game should be close, really close, because your team is really good, but his team has those tight ends, and he just got, I don't know, he might get lucky and score big. So this might be a
This
good
is
week.
also my game of the week too. Just because of the highest thing it has. Who's your upset of the week?
My upset of the week is actually Diego versus Sonny, and this is because it's still the fall of Rome, in my opinion. Oh, he's back with the Nike tee. Okay.
What made the switch?
Yeah, what made the switch?
I didn't want to go downstairs and be like, what the fuck you wearing a tie for?
Anyway, but yeah, we're doing game weekend review right now, and we're currently on the upset of the week. My upset of the week was Diego versus Sonny, because I don't think Sonny's team is not going to be producing. And I know I said last week, it's not really Justin's fault that his team just stops like playing on the field, like Matt Breida, but yeah.
My actual upset of the week, I have Can't Hide My Chubb. Can't Hide My Chubb
Ooh.
against Tame Impala. Call it crazy, but I feel like some weird shit's gonna happen this week.
I might have to bet you on that one if you.
I don't know. That seems like Dave versus Goliath, that kind of thing.
That kinda thing. Anyway, next onto our lock of the week. My lock of the week is Team X versus Silicon Valley. Nick is projected 147 points already. He has Andrew Luck versus Oakland. He has Saquon Barkley versus Washington. Devontae Adams is playing the Rams. A little bit of a bad matchup, but he's got Kerryon Johnson versus Seattle. And he's got the Houston D right now. I wouldn't be surprised if Brock Osweiler ended up throwing a pick six.
Which he did, didn't he?
I think he just threw an interception, not a pick six.
Yeah, it wasn't a pick six yet. Who do you have as your lock?
For me, my lock is I didn't know Nick's team was better that much, but my lock is actually your upset, Kenny versus Julian. Kenny is just gonna. Julian's team is just. This is like his hype train. It's just his own hype train. No one else is hyped for him. His hype train is about to derail, like right this week, because Julian, I don't know, his team is not good. This Chubb thing, this
I don't like the
Hyde
Cleveland
thing.
defense. He's still starting the Cleveland defense at Pittsburgh. I don't think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I don't see that working.
Yeah,
I
so
think his other players might.
yeah, Ken's team is just way better. Like literally, I just had that in my notes. Ken's team is way better. Literally, that's what I have in my notes. So
Hard to argue with that.
Coming back to our pick'ems, we're gonna have to go through them a little quickly. We're at 45 minutes right now. So Ed, we just went over our game. Who do you have winning?
For my lock or for the game?
No lock. We're just doing pick'ems.
Oh, between Kenny and Julian, obviously.
No,
Kenny.
me and you.
Oh, between me and you. Okay.
Pussy boy.
I gotta go with me. I mean, you gotta hope something falls into place eventually. I don't know. I lost how many games by like a point. I gotta go with me. Rolling the dice. It's suck my dick is weak. I don't know.
And I have you too, Ed. I have you too.
Oh, that makes me feel better.
Now Silicon Valley versus Team X. Is anyone picking Silicon Valley here? And
LaShawn
No.
McCoy, I don't like that.
All
That's why I
right.
traded this.
Brooklyn Treyway versus Philly Special. I see
That's a good
Brooklyn
one.
Treyway. I see Brooklyn Treyway pulling this one out.
I like that too.
Matt Breida might find some success this week. Who knows?
He's not starting. He's not starting.
Brady versus. Oh, you're not starting him. All right.
No,
Brady
he's
versus
not.
Buffalo. I like that. David Johnson versus San Francisco. That's a good.
That's like
a good
his matchup of the
right
year.
there.
That's a
Gronk versus Buffalo. Then you have the New Orleans defense versus the Vikings. Kind of questionable.
That might change. That might change.
It is a revenge game, though. I'm excited for that game. Who do you have for this one, Eddie?
I like Brooklyn Treyway too. I don't think Philly Special's at full strength right now, and Brooklyn Treyway's going to put some work in.
Castro?
Just me. My matchups are easier than his. That's all I have to say. I just like my game.
Next, we have Virapitas Tigers versus Sheck West Fan Club. I have Sheck West Fan Club winning this one. Like I said before, Sonny, you're not good. Your team is not good. You've been getting lucky. You have the lowest points against and one of the lowest points for. You're not good once again. You're not going anywhere.
I have Sonny actually
Harsh.
not even making the playoffs. Thoughts on that?
You would have to lose out.
That's a hot take. That's a hot take.
You'll see. Yeah, look at his schedule. Look at his schedule. He can easily just fall off.
Does he play Julian anymore?
I don't think he plays Julian anymore, but
Yeah, you got a chance then. That one's a tough game to pick, but I mean, you look at the lineup. You got to go with Sheck West this week. He just got more favorable matchups. I mean, I don't think either one of them light the world on fire this week.
Actually, he does play Julian. But James. Oh, but listen to this. James White has a bye though.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
The player that's been carrying him to multiple wins.
James White, he was on his bench. Like, he didn't know anything about him. He just picked him. He just got
But
like.
then again, Chubb, Gordon, Cleveland defense, and Robbie Gould are all on bye. So
Not Robbie Gould.
no, you never know, Ed, because he played me and Robbie Gould had like fucking 16 points for some reason. Remember, it was what was it? The Green Bay defense versus Robbie Gould, and I had to beat him out by 10 points.
Next up we have Can't Hide My Chubb versus Team Impala. I said before that this is my upset of the week, so I do have. And look at Devontae Parker go. First time I've seen him catch the ball for more than 10 yards in a while. I have Can't Hide My Chubb winning. I don't really have an explanation for this one. I just think somehow some shit just is gonna happen. It's just one of those weeks where Julian's just gonna have to find a weird way to win. Someone's gonna go off, and he's not gonna ever stop talking about it if he wins.
Peacock.
I don't like the matchups there. I mean, you got Hyde against Philadelphia's run defense. That ain't good. Alshon against Jacksonville's pass defense. That ain't good. What else? Josh Gordon against Buffalo. I mean, I don't know. Maybe 12 points.
Jaguars has been weird. Like, why?
Jaguars are unpredictable.
Yeah, but in London Jaguars, that's another story. Those are the Jaguars that put up like 30 points.
Yeah, you're right.
Yes, because they've played they've played the most games there out of any NFL team. I think
it's probably like a 24-20 finish. Philadelphia probably wins. I don't know though, but Blake Bortles somehow got some fucking magic or some shit.
They need to trade. They need to get a quarterback ASAP.
They gotta fix that defense too. They've been playing like shit.
Nothing they need to fix. Just fucking keep them in check.
So we are approaching 50 minutes, so we're gonna have to sign off here.
Wait, do we not? Do we go through everyone? Yeah, right.
Yeah, we did.
4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we did everyone.
Eddie, it was nice having you on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
It was cut short. Maybe we can have you next week. Maybe though.
Yeah,
we never know. We never.
We had a little bit of a long episode this week, so your time got cut a little bit short. But
It's all good.
So anybody that's been watching till now, thank you. I appreciate your viewing. So does Matt. We'll have to see you guys next week. Signing off.
Peace out, y'all.